Hey guys, welcome to our blending lesson today. Excuse me, today's January 28th and we're working on Unit 3, Week 3. And so all this week we've been working on the soft C sound, which is a C that sounds like the S sound. So the C would say S instead of the normal K. Right, and we're also working on that soft G sound, which is a G that's going to say J instead of the normal G. And that soft C sound, the S, will be spelled with a C-E, or sometimes just a C by itself. Just depends on the word. And that soft G, the J, will typically be spelled with G-E. And if it's spelled with G-E, it can come at the beginning or at the end of a word. Or if it is spelled with D-G-E, you will only see that at the end of a word. So similar to the way the TCH in the ch sound on the cheese card, you would only see TCH at the end of the word, like in the word catch or the word match. With the soft G sound that says J, the J sound, this DGE would be like the word fudge or the word edge or the word budge. You would only see DGE at the end of the word. Alright, so let's get started. We will do our high frequency words first. Alright, so of course, if you know the word, say it. If not, make sure you're watching, participating, to really help you out with that kind of stuff. Alright, so, why, today, some, way, now, away, pretty, grow, green, water, together, should, upon, from, once, happy, any, so, girl, old, how, ago, people, boy, done, by, every, after, soon, work. Excellent. Thank you so much for your participation. Okay, first word. Nice. Your turn. I-S. Nice. So this word has the I blank E, that long I spelling, and it also has that soft C that makes the S sound that you hear in nice. So, and says and then I blank E makes that long I sound, like the 5 card. It says I, you hear the letter I, I. And then the S that you hear when you say nice is the soft C. I-S, nice. Next word, brace. Your turn. B-R-A-C-E, brace, brace. So when I see B-R, I know I can blend those two letters together. B-R, burr. We're all pretty much experts at that. And I see an A in the word, and oh look, I see an E also, so that tells me that it switches, and it doesn't say A, now it says A. Bur-A. And then the blank in the A blank E is the S sound, that soft C. Brace, brace. So on the card where it says C-E, it can be spelled with C-E. It normally is. Nice, brace. Next word, ice. Your turn. I-S, ice. So when you say the word ice, it's the same sound that you hear in the word nice, except you take away the So, I blank E says that long I sound, because you know I, once he's got a buddy, it switches, it doesn't say I, now it says I. And that soft C, which is spelled with C-E, just like it says on the card, I-S, ice. And Next word. Fence. Your turn. S. Fence. Fence. F says E says doesn't have a buddy, so just regular short E, N says And then there's CE, which is going to make that S sound. Fence. Right. So let's read our first line. Nice, brace, ice, fence. Your turn. Wonderful. Okay, let's do the next word. Place. Your turn. Pull. Place. Place. So place is actually a high frequency word, and we couldn't sound it out before, but now we have some extra tools in our back pocket that long A sound, like you hear in pull A, and that S sound that will be spelled with a C. Okay. So PL, we know that we can just blend those two. Pull. A blinky, we know that once, or we should know that once A has a buddy E, it flips, doesn't say now it says long A. And that blank in A blanky, this time it is the soft C. So normally, C says ka, but depending on the word, it's going to say, it can also say S. So pull a place. So one way that you can check when you see these kinds of words in a book, the words with soft C, is you would try it out with the sound that you know best. So you've learned that C says ka ever since kinder. So of course you would try it out with that. Pull a ka, pull a ka, plaque. Oh wait, that doesn't seem like it sounds right with the book. So you try to flip that A. A and E, when you see that E, like, oh yeah, I know that A can also say A. Pull a ka, play-ka. Oh, that doesn't quite sound right either. Oh wait, now I know that C can also say S. Pull a place. That sounds like a word that I know. So, like I said, at some point, you won't even really need to think about it. It'll just click in your brain. All right, next word. Make. Your turn. Make. Make. M says A blanky. A. A. K says ka. Ache. Make. Okay. So this word, make, is also a high frequency word that you can now sound out because you have those new tools. But make, it's a verb. I'm going to make a cake. But if I am doing it right now, I am making a cake. Say that word, making. Thank you, I saw some lips. A-K-ing. Making. So I hear M says And I hear long A. Normally, in the word make, it's a blank E. Hold on here. Okay, so what we talked about yesterday, if you were listening in that video, is when we put ing at the end of a word, and if it ends with an E, we take that E out. So instead of M-A-K-E, I-N-G, we get rid of that E, but we still add the I-N-G. So that A is still long. It's still a long sound. You just kind of have to know that making, making. Next word, ride. Your turn. I-D. Ride. This word ride uses that long I sound. 5 card that we worked on last week. R says I blank E. Remember, once I has his buddy, no longer says I, now it says I. I. D says da, I'd ride. And if I'm going to say I am going to ride a horse, or if I'm going to ride a horse right now, I am riding a horse. So we're going to take this word ride and we're going to make riding. So the only thing you hear different between ride and riding is that ing. Okay, so in the word riding, go ahead and say that. Thank you. In the word riding, we still hear R. We still hear And in the word riding, we still hear long I. Okay? But just like we did to turn make into making, in order to turn ride into riding, we're taking off that E. We're getting rid of that E. The I will still say the long sound though. And when you would see this book, you might see it at first and think, id-ing. Wait, that doesn't quite match what's going on in the picture. I see a girl on a horse in the picture. So let me flip it. Just try that I, the long I. I-d-ing, riding. So again, even though we took off the E, because otherwise the word just kind of looks wrong. If it was R-I-D-E-I-N-G, it might just look off. So we take off the E, we keep that I-N-G, and it makes a different word. All right, next word. Dice. Your turn. Duh. Dice. Dice. D says duh. I blank E says that long I sound, because I now has a buddy E. And C is going to make that soft C. Duh, ice, dice. Dice. And next, last word. Mice. Your turn. Mice. Mice. Knowing the word mice, I hear long I. I hear it say I. My. And I hear, when I say mice, I hear s. But it is actually a C, which is saying s. Ice. Mice. Mice. So, for all of these, any of the j or the soft G or the soft C, you kind of just have to know that you can switch them, that letters will have different sounds depending on the word. English is a crazy language, and that happens sometimes. Okay, let's do a sentence. M says, Now there's A, there's nobody. So since there's nobody, it's just short A, like apple. So a. DGE is going to make that soft G. This says ja. Madge. So remember, DGE, you'll only see it at the end. You'll never, ever, ever see it at the beginning of a word. Madge. So this is actually a name. It's not a name that you hear very often, but now we have two reasons. It's capitalized, beginning of a sentence, and it's a person. D says duh. A, nobody, just says duh, and says duh, Dan. CE can make that S sound, the s, duh, dance. Madge, dance. That doesn't quite sound right. So I'm going to add a D. And if I add a D to this word, it is the word danced. So you probably didn't even think of how we need to change the word to make it sound right. You probably just thought to yourself, oh, Madge danced, because that sounds right. You know what it's supposed to sound like. Because Madge dance just doesn't make sense. All right. High frequency word on. High frequency word the. ST, sta, sta. A, there's no buddy here, so it's not long A. It's just a, sta, a. But GE is how we're going to spell ja. Kind of just have to know that. You kind of just have to have that skill. That GE says ja. You can also make that J sound. Sta, a, sta, a, ja. Okay, maybe this is an A blank E when I say the word stage. My bad. We hear that long A sound. Sta, A. So here's that A blank E. And the G says ja. So sta, a, ja. Stage. My bad, guys. I'm sorry. Okay, so let's read our sentence. Madge danced on the stage. Long A. Alright, so we need punctuation. So please put a hand high in the air if you think we're going to have a question mark. Alright, fantastic. No hands. Put a thumb in the air or hand high in the air if you think it's going to be an exclamation point. Alright, you could have an exclamation point. Thank you if you participated with that. Put a hand high in the air if you think it's going to be a period. Alright, you could also have a period. Now, if you were going to have, this could be a sentence with a period, or this sentence with a period, is just a telling sentence. So it's just going to tell you what's happening. It's going to tell you what Madge is doing. Okay? If you were going to say this with an exclamation point, you would have to make sure that you actually say it with a whole bunch of ooh. Madge danced on the stage. Can you believe how brave she was? She danced on the stage. I would never be comfortable dancing on a stage. So yeah, that's oomph, emphasis. Okay, so let's do some nouns and verbs. We'll do our nouns in blue today, and we will do our verbs in pink. Okay, so a noun is a person, a place, or a thing. You should know that by now. So Madge is a person. That's why it's capitalized. It's also the beginning of a sentence. So that's another reason it's capitalized. So Madge is a noun. I'm just going to put a little N right here. Maybe help you with that. If you're writing it, of course I hope you are. You can put an N right there if you'd like to. Madge danced on the stage. So there's another thing here that we could touch. It's a thing. The stage. That is the place that she is. It's something that you could touch. And that is also a noun. So I just put a little tiny N under there. You can do that if you want to. Madge danced on the stage. So we've talked about how a verb is what the noun is doing. So look at our nouns. We have Madge and we have stage. Is Madge doing something in our sentence? Yeah. What is she doing? She's dancing. All right. So that means that danced is our verb. Put a little V up here. So Madge danced on the stage. So since this is an ED word, danced, that means that it already happened. Like maybe it was talking about how yesterday in the play, Madge danced on the stage. And she did a really great job. That's why I'm so excited when I say it. That's why there's an exclamation point at the end of my sentence. All right, so let's read our blending board. Nice. Brace, ice, fence. Your turn. Thank you. Place, make, making. Your turn. Ride, riding. Dice, mice. Your turn. Thank you. All right, we'll do our sentence. Madge danced on the stage. Your turn. Wonderful. Thank you so much for your focus and participating. We'll see you later.